This stretch of highway is where it happened. Authorities say Mitch Lingren and Zach Gamache died at the scene.
He was a good kid.
Quiet, sweet. Those were some of the words that were used by some of his classmates that came to the visitation. He was definitely well-liked.
The driver of the oncoming car, 26-year-old Vanessa Ray Briggen, faces 2 counts of vehicular homicide. Authorities report Briggen showed signs of controlled substance impairment. Court records say a bottle of methadone was found at the scene, along with a used needle and syringe. The criminal complaint says she was on her way back from a methadone clinic in Brainerd.
We know that methadone can be an effective treatment when it's administered the correct way.
What exactly is methadone? It's a substitute drug for people addicted to heroin and other opiates. Ann Bushy, director of the St. Louis County Department of Public Health and Human Services, says methadone's been used for over 40 years. It's administered only through doctors' orders to help addicts stay functional, hold down a job, or raise their children.
It's really a medication that they need to, have a good quality of life and be free from, a higher addiction drug or an illegal drug.
Like most of us, Duluth State Senator Roger Reinert admits he didn't know much about methadone, but after the accident, questions started flying.
Why are we doing this? Why are we helping pay for it? Does this do any good? What do we know about methadone as a treatment? All those sorts of things.
And he began looking for answers.
Methadone is to heroin addiction what a nicotine patch is to nicotine addiction. It is a step to help people who want to get healthy away from that.
Not everybody's the same, and somehow we've got to understand that there's no one treatment that's going to work for everybody.
Duluth State Representative Tom Huntley has been looking for answers too. He's found that even health professionals can't agree.
There's one group that says we should treat this. There's no cure, so we're just going to treat it forever. Then you have the opposite bunch of academics and healthcare providers that say that total abstinence is the only way to go.
While the treatment itself is being debated, so is the management of the programs. The Lake Superior Treatment Center in Duluth has one of the 15 methadone programs in Minnesota. It had its license revoked this fall. It remains open while it appeals that decision. The state found numerous and repeated violations, including failing to adequately document treatment and excessive caseloads for counselors.
You go to these clinics, they don't have proper supervision. They're all overwhelmed with the number of people they have to see in a given day.
Another violation cited was for not monitoring take-home doses. Huntley says methadone programs can be abused.
You can go in there and say, oh, I'm having withdrawal pain, so I need a bigger dose. So they give them a bigger dose to take home. And well, what do they do with it? Some of them OD and kill themselves. Others sell it on the street.
Many centers, like Duluth's, operate for profit, a model both Reinert and Bushy have qualms about.
Quite honestly, if you do the math for a provider, this is, it brings in a fair amount of income.
Another important part of the equation, Bushy and Reinert say that of those using methadone, only 5 to 10% end up clean.
Do we have a for-profit motive at play with taxpayer dollars that's increasing the use of methadone as a treatment modality when we know that it's only effective for 5% of the population? There really are a series of questions there that beg answers.
And there's also the question of taxpayer dollars. From 2005 to 2011, Minnesota spent about $45 million for uninsured addicts to get methadone. Senator Reinert sees that price tag climbing, along with a growing number of users.
We've seen the use of methadone as a treatment modality increase 60% over that same time period. That's a pretty substantial increase.
While lawmakers and health professionals agree better scrutiny is needed, Ann Bushy says the programs cannot just be about the drug.
I personally believe that they need to be more focused on treatment and less focused on, just continuing to provide a dose of methadone to addicted individuals.
This summer and fall, St. Louis County professionals and others who deal with the problem have been meeting to find solutions, and just this week they received 6 proposals for a possible new methadone operation in the county. In addition, Representative Huntley told us changes could be coming from St. Paul. Committee hearings have been scheduled with the Republican chair of the Minnesota House Health and Human Services Finance Committee.
We are going to have some hearings. I talked to Jim Abler, who is the chair of the committee, and he wants to do it, have joint, completely nonpartisan, just to get us information about the problems with methadone treatment.
They could be small but positive signs for those looking for answers, like the Lingren and Gamache families.
I just don't want it happening to another family and have to go through what we're going through.
And there will be steps taken because of their loss. There will be good that comes of it.
So hopefully in the process of answering some of the questions, they can help to avoid this type of accident happening again.